What's your extension?
He has the headset on now, so it should be good to wait 5 minutes. I'm not going to move on. It's more
Ready? And you have a headset on your screen.
We do that?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Please be seated.
Yeah.
Would the interpreter please announce?
You have court interpreter Roger Mancia for Spanish.
Thank you, sir, for helping us out so early in the morning. Would you please invite Mr. Vasquez Morales to the podium? Good morning, Mr. Vasquez Morales. If you are partially bilingual, please wait for the interpretation before you answer. Sir, please tell me your name.
Adelaida Abigail Vázquez Morales.
Adelaida Miguel Vázquez Morales.
Sir, you are charged with one count of aggravated driving under the influence, which is a Class 4 felony. I have appointed you an attorney. Your next hearing, downtown Phoenix, is on the 17th of November. Your bond is set at $2,500, secured appearance. I wish you the best of luck. The officer to your left has all the paperwork. Good luck, sir. Mr. Interpreter, that's the only one I show, but in case I missed one, can you give me a courtesy announcement?
Yes, of course, Your Honor. ¿Alguien más que no hable inglés que necesite la interpretación en español? Alce su mano si es eso.
There are no hands raised, and the officer the field training officer just verified that. Sir, thank you very much. We could not have done it without you.
I appreciate it, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are a victim of a crime with a case pending before this court, you are advised that you have the following rights under Arizona law that, among others, include the right to be treated with fairness, respect, and dignity, to a speedy trial, to be present in court proceedings, to choose whether or not to be interviewed by the defendant or the defendant's attorney, to be heard before the court makes a decision on release, negotiation of pleas, scheduling, and sentencing, and to receive restitution from a person who is convicted of causing you a loss. If you have not already been provided with a written statement of all victims' rights, please contact the Victim Services Division of the Prosecutor's Office. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. I'm going to call you up one at a time. When you get to the podium, I need your name. I'll tell you the charges you're here on. I'll appoint most of you an attorney. I'll set your next hearing date, give you a location. I'll set your general release conditions. All of you will have general release conditions. They are as follows. Do not make contact with the arresting officers. Do not possess any drugs without a valid prescription. Do not drive a motor vehicle without a valid license. Keep us informed as to where you are living. If you are on probation, you'll be ordered to contact your probation officer. If the charges you're being seen here today indicate there may be a victim, you'll be ordered to not have any contact with that victim and stay away from the scene of the alleged crime. Gentlemen, ladies, when your hearing is done, step immediately to your left. One of these two fine officers will hand all your release conditions to you in writing. Thank you for listening. Mr. Stevens is first. Mr. Stevens, come on up. And Daniel Matterly is second. Mr. Matterly, there's a chair right next to the door. Why don't you hop in that chair? Mr. Stevens, tell me your full name.
My name is Jaden Todd Stevens.
Mr. Stevens, this is a dangerous drug case, a Class 4 felony, drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony. I've appointed you an attorney, sir. Your next hearing date is on the 17th of November, downtown Phoenix. Because this allegedly happened while you're on felony release on another matter, you have to be held non-bondable until the 17th. All of this can be changed on the 17th. Sir, that's the law. I cannot change it.
I know, I was just going to ask. I have court on the 12th.
You know what? This guarantees these fine officers, make sure you get there. Good luck. Good luck, sir. Daniel. And then Mosabi. I probably pronounced that wrong, sir, but please, you're next. Hop in the chair. Daniel, tell me your full name.
Daniel Patrick Matherly.
I pronounced your name wrong, too, also. Sir, thank you. This is out of Pinell County. It's 2 counts of aggravated driving under the influence, Class 4 felony. I cannot appoint you an attorney in Pinell County. That's up to the Pinell judge. You're going to see the Pinell judge on the 14th of this month in Pinell County. The Pinell judge wants a $25,000 bond. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Mondi, come on up. And Justin is after this gentleman. Good morning, sir. Please tell me your full name.
Madi Musavi.
Sir, this is aggravated assault, a Class 5 felony, resisting arrest as a misdemeanor. I've appointed you an attorney, sir. Your next hearing is on the 17th of this month, downtown Phoenix. Bond is set as a secured appearance bond of $10,000 is ordered. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Justin, come on up. And Emilio is after Justin. Emilio, hop in the chair next to the door, if you would, please. Good morning, sir. Tell me your name, please.
Justin Chisholm.
Mr. Chisholm, this is aggravated driving under the influence, a Class 4 felony. Driving under the influence as a misdemeanor, another driving under the influence as a misdemeanor, a third driving under the influence as a misdemeanor. They have different sentencing ranges. And also, driving while your license is suspended, revoked, or canceled. I have appointed you an attorney, sir. Your next hearing is the 17th of this month, downtown Phoenix. Bond is set at $2,500 secured appearance. Remember that DUIs, driving under the influence, also has a civil side to it, which they call admin per se. And that's what motor vehicles can do to your driving privileges. Make sure before you get behind the wheel that you have driving privileges, or this just snowballs out of proportion. Good luck, sir. Mr. Mr. Ramos, and Patricia is after Emilio. Tell me your full name, sir.
My full name is Emilio Gabriel Rodriguez Ramos.
Sir, this is unlawful discharge of a firearm within city limits, a Class 6 felony. I've appointed you an attorney, sir. Your next hearing date is on the 25th of November, downtown Phoenix. You're being released to pretrial services. You'll be out of here in about 6 hours. The officer's going to hand you some paperwork. Within that paperwork is a whole bunch of instructions. Read it carefully on what you have to do to stay out of trouble between now and the next hearing. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Patricia, come on up. Ms. Cinta, yes, right there. A little closer. Ms. Cintaloa Chavez, please tell me your full name.
My name is Patricia Sinaloa Chavez.
Miss, this is unlawful means of transportation, which is a Class 6 felony. You were the passenger alleged. I've appointed you an attorney. Your next hearing date is November the 25th, downtown Phoenix. You're being released to pretrial services. You'll be out here in about 6 hours. The officer to your left is going to hand you a whole bunch of paperwork. Read it carefully. Those are the rules you have to follow to stay out of trouble between now and your next hearing. Good luck, miss.
Okay.
Joshua? Hannawalt? Mr. Hannawalt, come on up. And after Joshua is Samantha Byers. Miss Byers, why don't you hop in the chair next to the door, please? Good morning, sir. Tell me your name.
Joshua Lee Hannawalt.
Sir, this is dangerous drugs and drug paraphernalia. Those are Class 4 and Class 6 felonies. I've appointed you an attorney, sir. Your next hearing is November 25th, downtown Phoenix. You're being released to pretrial services. You'll be out of here in about 6 hours. When you go over to the officer, she'll hand you a whole bunch of paperwork. Read it carefully. Those are the rules you have to follow. Good luck, sir.
All right, thank you, sir. I'll try to get my hernia taken care of at the same time.
Well, sir, I'm not authorizing any medical treatment. That's between you and your medical provider. Just make sure you tell pretrial services about your medical issue, and they may give you some restrictions, but I don't know what they are. Good luck.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Good luck.
And God bless you.
You too, sir. And I hope everything goes well with that physical ailment. Samantha, Miss Byers, come on up. After Miss Byers is Mr. Diaz. Jorge. Miss Byers, tell me your full name.
Samantha Marie Byers.
Ms. Byers, this is dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony, drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony, and endangerment as a misdemeanor. I've appointed you an attorney, miss. Your next hearing is on the 17th at downtown Phoenix. Your bond is set at $1,500. Also, there's a victim's impact statement on your case. I have read it, but that victim's impact statement wants me to order you into inpatient, which I cannot do here today's date. It's not properly before the court, and also wants your mother to have basically custody of the child for the next 6 months until you're clean and sober. But again, those are not before it. I just read it, and that's what she wants. They're all reasonable, but they're not before the court.
Right, and so I can self-bond. I brought money with me.
Yes, $1,500 secured appearance.
I have $1,500 cash, so.
Well, then you talk to the officers, and they'll get you going.
Okay, thank you.
Good luck, miss. Jorge? And Mr. Duarte, Aaron, is after this gentleman. Good morning, sir. Tell me your full name.
Jorge Rosas Diaz.
Mr. Diaz, this is trafficking in stolen goods, a Class 3 felony, dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony, narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, driving on a suspended, revoked, or canceled license as a misdemeanor. I've appointed you an attorney, sir. Your next hearing downtown Phoenix is on the 15th day of November. You're being released to pretrial services. That officer is going to hand you a whole bunch of paperwork. Read it carefully. Those are the rules you have to follow to stay out of trouble. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
You'll be out in about 6 hours. Aaron. Come on up, Aaron.
One more part. Go ahead.
After Aaron is Robert. Robert, why don't you hop in the chair next to the door? Good morning, sir. Tell me your full name.
Aaron Rene Duarte Presión.
Sir, this is aggravated driving under the influence, which is a class under the age of 15, which is a Class 1 misdemeanor. I think that is a typo, but I'll leave that to your attorney as well as the prosecuting attorney. I'm releasing you on your own recognizance on that. The next matter is endangerment as a Class 6 felony and driving under the influence as a misdemeanor. Again, I'm releasing you on your own recognizance. Your next hearing is the 14th day of November, downtown Phoenix, on those matters. And, sir, the last one is drug paraphernalia. These are all warrants for your arrest. Same attorney, same hearing date, the 14th, same release conditions on your own recognizance. Sir, show up, The attorney will try to wrap them all together and get these all solved for you at the same time.
Okay.
Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Robert. Mr. Engelbert, come on up.
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Brian, Aaron is after Mr. Engelbert.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, sir. Hope you are under the circumstances also.
Yes, sir.
Tell me your full name, sir.
Robert John Engelbert.
Sir, this is a dangerous drug case, a Class 4 felony, drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony, resisting arrest as a Class 6 felony. I've appointed you an attorney, sir. Your next hearing is the 25th of this month, downtown Phoenix. You're being released on your own recognizance, sir. Good luck, sir.
Thank you,
Be out
sir.
in about 6 hours.
Thank you.
Aaron. Mr. Brian, come on up. And Thompson's after this gentleman. Tell me your full name.
Aaron James Bryan.
Mr. Bryan, this is disorderly conduct as a misdemeanor, criminal damage as a misdemeanor. I've appointed, strike that, I cannot appoint you an attorney. This is out of Peoria Municipal Court. You're going to meet the Peoria judge on the first day of December in Peoria. You're being released on your own recognizance. However, you may not return to the scene of the alleged crime or have contact with the alleged victim until the Peoria judge clears you. Good luck, sir.
Can I ask you a question?
I may not have an answer, but go right ahead.
I live there. Can I go to get my stuff to?
That's the issue between you and law enforcement. They basically do a courtesy standby. They knock on the door for you, and then you're free to go in, and an officer may or may not go in with you, and you basically get change of clothes and a toothbrush. This is not a packing situation.
Okay.
Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
But the next judge, Peoria judge, can change all of this. Ms. Thompson. Good morning, Ms. Thompson. Tell me your full name.
Karen Delaney Thompson.
Ms. Thompson, this is driving on a suspended, revoked, or canceled license, a warrant for your arrest. I cannot appoint you an attorney. This is before the Santan Justice Court. You're going to meet that judge on the 25th of this month in Santan. You're being released on your own recognizance. Again, please, miss, you're not allowed to drive a motor vehicle without a valid license. So before you get behind the wheel, make sure you have one, or this just gets all blown out of proportion. Good luck, miss.
Thank you. Have a good morning.
Thank you. The next three cases are all behavioral issues. Bless you, officer. I'll treat them as house calls. Mr. Christopher White is 2 counts of aggravated driving under the influence, Class 4 felony, and another 2 counts of driving under the influence, third in time, Class 4 felonies. I've appointed him an attorney. His next hearing date is the 25th day of November, downtown Phoenix. He's being released on his own recognizance. Raymond Birch, number 16 on the court's calendar, is endangerment of Class 6 felony, assault as a misdemeanor. I've appointed him an attorney. His next hearing date is on the 17th of November, downtown Phoenix. A bond is $10,000. Excuse me. Mr. Cesar Garcia has 2 different matters. The first one is failure to obey a police officer out of the Kyrene Justice Court. I cannot appoint an attorney in the Kyrene Justice Court system. That's up to the Kyrene judge. He's going to meet the Kyrene judge on the 14th of this month at the Kyrene Justice Court. I set bond in the amount of $50 because of the next charge. The next charge is out of Pima County, failure to appear. I cannot appoint an attorney in Pima County. He's going to meet the Pima County judge also on the 14th. A bond by the Pima judge is $1,000. That concludes my calendar. However, the Honorable Jerry Bernstein, who handled the overnight calendar, specifically the 2 a.m. calendar, wanted me to clarify something that he was not sure was clarified when he went on the record with number 2, number 13, and number 14, David Pulsar, if I'm reading Judge Bernstein's handwriting correctly. Number 2 is a capital case, 13 and 14 are probation violations. They were late add-ons. Judge Bernstein made extraordinary circumstances finding on the capital case. However, he does not remember if he did on the 2 probation violations. He noted that the gentleman was held in a hospital situation with an armed guard, assumably law enforcement for about 48 hours due to medical treatment from, well, read the form for it. It's not really relevant to this. He was seen about 11 hours later. Judge Bernstein did it out of order immediately upon finding out he was here. And Judge Bernstein did not know if he made the clear and convincing, strike that, extraordinary circumstances findings. He just wanted that relayed on the record that it was his intention to have it apply to all three cases. This court is not changing any of the orders. It's just a clarificational issue for the Honorable Jerry Bernstein. Did I miss anything, boss? Whatever you told them, thank you. They all behaved wonderfully. Thank you. May I come with you?
You get released, it takes 2 to 4 hours. You guys go up there to the podium, and you're walking out with a copy of your paperwork. That's with your charges, your bonds, your waste conditions, as economic. If you're staying with us, you're gonna go to processing, you're gonna get medically cleared by a physician, you're gonna get classified to your facility, minimum, medium, or maximum. You're gonna get dressed out as orange, and then you'll be moved out. Any questions? When the judge comes in, you're just gonna stop, stand up. If you can't see back there, you can just one of these two things and leave. But, when you're done with the court, you should then go back to that area. Go ahead and stand up, everyone. Just go back in. Do nothing now. I just saw her go back in. I'll let you know when she comes back. You know about the one house call, right? Yeah. Oh. Okay. She'll be here in a sec. All right. Coming in.
Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. Okay, good morning, everybody. My name is Commissioner Kunosh. This is the 11 a.m. initial appearance calendar for Monday, November 10th. The court's orders for the taking of DNA samples and fingerprints issued on the first calendar of November will apply to all of the hearings on this calendar. If you are the victim of a crime with a case pending before this court, please be advised that you have rights under Arizona law. Among those include the right to be treated with fairness, respect, and dignity, to a speedy trial, to be present at court proceedings, to choose whether or not to be interviewed by the defendant or the defendant's attorney. You have the right to be heard before the court makes a decision on release, negotiation of a plea, scheduling, and sentencing, and to receive restitution from a person who's convicted of causing you a loss. If you have not been provided with a written statement of all of the victim's rights, please contact the Victim Services Office of the Prosecutor's, Victim Services Division of the Prosecutor's Office. Okay, everybody, now we have preliminary matters out of the way. As we get started in here on the calendar, I will call each of you into the courtroom one at a time. I'll ask one of you to stand behind the gray podium right in front of me here in the courtroom. We good? Are we good? Okay. Then I'll ask either the next person or two people, depending on how many chairs are available, to line up in the chairs. I think there's either one or two blue chairs right inside this door, sitting there facing all of you. So if you would please listen carefully for your name, move from the chair you're in now to, if there's two, the second chair inside the door, then shift over to the first chair, then come into the courtroom. I know that sounds like a lot of movement, but I promise you all it will make this calendar run much faster. Once you work your way into the courtroom, I will start by asking you to state your full name and date of birth. Then I will explain to you why you're here this morning. I will give you the next court hearing dates and times you'll be required to attend after this court hearing. You all have the right to the assistance of counsel in a criminal case. When you're in the courtroom, I will tell you whether a public defender is being appointed to represent you. Whether or not a public defender is appointed, you all always have the right to hire a private lawyer to defend you at your own expense if you would prefer to have a private lawyer. Also, while you're in the courtroom, we will discuss whether you are legally eligible for release from custody. If you are, I will go over on what terms and conditions you could get out of jail yet today. In addition to that right to the assistance of counsel, you all also have the right to remain silent. That means you cannot be forced to make any statements regarding the facts of your case here in the courtroom this morning, but I want you all to know that anything that you do choose to say could be used against you at any point in these proceedings. Even if you qualify for a court-appointed lawyer, you will not have a lawyer present in the courtroom here today for purposes of your defense. If you get a court-appointed lawyer, your lawyer will be present starting at your next court hearing forward. I tell you that so that you know, while you're in the courtroom, even though you don't have a lawyer here, anything you say could still be used against you. So I will caution all of you very strongly to think very carefully before you make any statements regarding the facts that brought you here. I encourage you all to save any statements that you might want to make or questions you might have about the facts of your case for your next hearing when you do have legal counsel available. Okay, last thing I'll tell you all is that all of the information you get while you're in the courtroom will be provided to you in a written document called a release order. The officer in the courtroom will hand you that document when you're done in here and you step back into the room that you're in right now. So please feel free to ask any questions you have about your release conditions, but don't feel like you need to memorize them because they will all be contained in that piece of paper you get when you step back into the room that you're in now. All right, let's go ahead and get started. If I could please have William Vincent all the way into the courtroom behind the podium in front of me, please. Jessica Baez, if you would please work your way to the first chair inside the door. Is there a second chair out there? Okay. And then if I could please have Michael Carmelo into the second chair. All right. Good morning, sir. May I please have your name and date of birth?
William Henry Vincent III, 5/31/1985.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vincent. You are here on one matter. That matter is allegations of new charges. Those allegations are one count of arson of a structure or property, that is a Class 4 felony, one count of narcotic drug possession, also a Class 4 felony, and one count of resisting arrest, which is a Class 6 felony. I did find probable cause to support the arson and resisting arrest allegations, but I did not find probable cause to support the narcotic drug allegation. My finding of no probable cause on that drug allegation does not mean it's legally dismissed. It is possible that the county attorney's office will still file a charge on that allegation. What it does mean, though, is I am not considering that drug allegation for purposes of determining your release conditions. I will only be setting preliminary release conditions on the arson and resisting arrest allegations. I did determine that you are entitled to a court-appointed lawyer, and I have appointed a public defender to represent you. Your next court hearings will be a status conference November 17th, and then you will have a preliminary hearing November 20th. They will both be at 8:30 in the morning, and they'll both be in the Superior Court downtown. On the two allegations supported by probable cause, you have a $50,000 cash-only bond. If you post that bond and you are released from custody, you cannot go back to the location where any of the alleged underlying events took place. You could not have contact with any alleged victims or witnesses. You could not possess upon release any weapons. You could not possess any item capable of causing ignition, including matches, lighters, or any flammable liquids, including alcohol, gasoline, or lighter fluid. If you are released from custody, you would also be prohibited from possessing or consuming any alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription. Do you understand those conditions, Mr. Vincent? All right, thank you very much. You can go ahead and step back and get your paperwork. Jessica Baeza, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Mr. Carmelo, if you would please shift over, and then if I could have Vikas Gautam to the second chair. Can I please have your name and date of birth?
Jessica Baeza, 22182.
Thank you, Ms. Baeza. You are here on allegations of new charges. The allegations against you are one count of aggravated driving under the influence for having a suspended or revoked driver's license, one count of aggravated driving under the influence for not having an interlock device. Those are both class 4 felonies. And finally, one count of aggravated driving under the influence with a passenger under the age of 15. That is a class 6 felony. I did find probable cause to support those allegations, and I have appointed a public defender to represent you. Your next court hearings will be a status conference November 17th, and then you will have a preliminary hearing November 20th. Both of those will be at 8:30 in the morning. They'll both be in the Superior Court downtown. On those 3 aggravated DUI allegations, you have a $10,000 secured appearance bond. Secured appearance means you have the option of using a bonding company to post that bond if you would like to. If you do post that bond and you are released from custody, upon your release, you could not possess or consume any alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription. You could not operate a motor vehicle so long as you do not have a valid driver's license. If you have a valid driver's license and you operate a motor vehicle, you cannot have a passenger under the age of 18 in any vehicle that you operate. Do you understand those conditions?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Baeza. You can step back and get your paperwork. Michael Carmelo, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Mr. Gautam, if you would please shift over, and then if I could have Natalie McIntyre in the second chair. Can I have your name and date of birth, please?
Michael Regis Carmelo III, Your Honor.
And what's your date of birth, Mr. Carmelo?
12626.
Thank you very much. Okay, you are here this morning on 3 warrants, all of them issued by the Pima County Superior Court. It looks like 2 are misdemeanor warrants, 1 is a felony warrant, but they are likely all issued because you failed to appear at court hearings. I don't know if you have court-appointed lawyers assigned to you in any or all of these cases already. If you do, those assigned lawyers will stay on and continue to represent you. If you don't yet have a court-appointed lawyer in any or all of these, you are entitled to one, and the Superior Court, the Pima County Superior Court judge you see at your next hearing will appoint one in any case you don't already have one. Your next court hearings in each of these 3 matters will be the same. They will be arraignment hearings November 14th at 8:30 in the Pima County Superior Court. So the good news is you only have one next court date, but on that date, at that time, all 3 of your cases will be heard on that calendar. Okay, on the felony warrant, you have a $10,000 secured appearance bond. On each of the misdemeanor warrants, your bond is $500. So total, you have an $11,000 secured appearance bond. If you post that and you are released from custody, please make sure that you get yourself to Pima County for that hearing November 14th. And if you post that bond and you're released, you cannot possess or consume any drugs without a valid prescription once you're out of custody. Do you understand all of that information, Mr. Carmelo?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, sir. You can step back and get your paperwork.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Vikas Gautam, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Ms. McIntyre, if you would please shift over, and then if I could have Nicholas Dietz in the second chair. Can I have your name and date of birth, please?
Yes, my name is Vikas Gautam, 10/03/1991.
Thank you very much, Mr. Goth. Is it like TH, Gotham?
It's missing the H, so it's like the same, yeah.
Is it missing the H because we have it misspelled?
No.
Okay. All right. So it's pronounced Gautam.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Gautam. You are here on 3 different matters. 2 of them are warrants issued by courts after you appear to have failed to appear at hearings. One of those was issued by the Kyrene Justice Court on misdemeanor racing and criminal nuisance allegations. The other was a failure to appear warrant issued by the Peoria Municipal Court on a separate misdemeanor racing case. In both of those warrant cases, you're entitled to a court-appointed lawyer for purposes of release conditions. Those lawyers will be appointed for you by the next judges you see on each of those warrants. Your next court hearing on the Kyrene case will be an arraignment hearing November 13th at 8:30 in the Kyrene Justice Court. On that warrant, you have a $100 cash-only bond. On the Peoria case, your next hearing is an arraignment hearing November 13th at 9 a.m. That one, your bond is $250 cash. The final matter that you're here on is a new allegation. That allegation is 1 count of criminal speeding. It is also a misdemeanor allegation. Same thing on the lawyer. You're entitled to a court-appointed lawyer on that new charge, at least for purposes of release conditions. That lawyer will be appointed by the next judge you see on that new case. That hearing will be an arraignment hearing November 19th at 9 a.m. in the Wickenburg Municipal Court. On that new allegation, your bond is $500 cash only. So a couple things I want to point out. First, your total bond for all 3 of these cases will be $850 cash. It's $500 plus $250 plus $100. It is all cash. The second thing that I want to point out to you is your court hearings on the 2 warrant cases are the same day, separated by a half an hour in 2 different courts. One of them is in Chandler, one is in Peoria. So realistically, I don't think that you could physically get to both of those hearing dates. I don't have control over those. If I did, I would change one of them so that you could physically make both, but I can't. So here's what I want you to know. If you post this bond, you'll be out of custody and you'll be responsible for either getting yourself to all of those hearings or making arrangements for them. If you stay in custody, you'll be transported by MCSO likely to one of those and you'll miss the other. So regardless of whether you post that bond and you're in or out of custody, what I strongly encourage you to do is use the phone numbers to the 2 misdemeanor courts, to Peoria and Kyrene, in your paperwork. Let one or both of those courts know the situation that you're scheduled for a hearing in a different court at basically the same time. See if one of those courts will agree to move either the date or time of their hearing so that you could physically attend all of them. And I encourage you to do that as soon as you can, because if you wait until after you miss the hearing to reach out to them, they will have likely already issued another warrant for your arrest. So if you think that you can make it to Kyrene November 13th at 8:30 and then still be in Peoria November 13th at 9, more power to you. I don't think that's realistic though. So again, I encourage you, call one or both of those courts and see, maybe try the Peoria court since it's the later time and say, hey, can I get an afternoon hearing, or maybe reset it for the next day. Hopefully they'll work with you and change that. If none of that happens and you do end up missing one of those hearings because you can't be in 2 places, know that the court that you missed the hearing at has likely issued a warrant for your arrest at that point. And you should still then try to contact the court to try to resolve that warrant so that you don't have to get arrested on it and come back here and do this again. Okay, if you do post that bond and you find yourself out of custody, in addition to the hearing situation, you are ordered not to operate a motor vehicle if you don't have a valid driver's license. If you're released and you have a valid driver's license, when you operate a motor vehicle, you must comply with all of the rules of the road, including the posted speed limits. Okay, Mr. Gotham, do you understand all that information?
I do understand that. I own a restaurant, and, it's closed right now, and it's a Rosati's Pizza. I really got to get back and, start making pizzas and stuff. I was wondering if I could be released on OR this one time. And, I don't even know how I'm going to post the cash bond. It's in my account, but I don't know. I have no family here. So they're in Bakersfield, California.
So here's what I'll tell you. The short answer to the first question is no, you cannot be released without that bond. The primary considerations for that bond are both public safety and your appearance in court. This is now the third new case for similar criminal allegations. And in the two pending cases, you have at least one failure to appear warrant already in each of those cases. One was from 2024, one was from earlier this year. So the purpose of that bond is A, to try and encourage you to comply with the laws, especially the speed limits, but also to protect the traveling public from any of these alleged violations. It's also to secure your appearance in court. So you do have to post that bond in order to be eligible for release. As to your second point, topic, question, how you get that posted, there's typically three ways to get a bond posted, and this is true whether it's secured appearance or cash. You can have somebody go to the 4th Avenue Bonds and Fines office and post it for you. If that is not an option, you can either use money on your jail books or get money on your jail books to use that to self-bond out. I'm not familiar with, if you don't have money on there, I'm not familiar with how you get it on there, but any of the MCSO officers could probably help you figure that out. The third option is to try to go through a bonding company. I believe there are some bonding companies that do work with cash bonds. So when you get back into the jail facility, if you're interested in trying to talk to some bonding companies to go that route, there's a list of bonding companies and their phone numbers posted in various places. You could find one of those lists, all of them except collect calls from the facility. So you could call one, two, or all of them to see which ones might work with you and what their requirements might be. Any other questions for me, Mr. Gautam?
No.
All right, thank you very much. You can step back and get your paperwork. Natalie McIntyre, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Mr. Dietz, you can stay where you are or shift over. You'll be the last one, so make yourself at home in there. Can I have your name and date of birth, please?
Natalie McIntyre, 5/31/89.
Thank you, Ms. McIntyre. You are here on an arrest warrant issued by the Pinal County Superior Court. It looks like the underlying allegations in that Pinal County case are one count of narcotic drug possession and one count of drug paraphernalia possession. I don't know whether you have a court-appointed lawyer in that case or not, because I don't have full access to the Pinal County Court's records, but I can say that you are entitled to one. So if you don't already have one, at your next court hearing, the Pinal County judge should appoint a lawyer to defend you. Your next court hearing on this warrant will be an arraignment hearing November 14th. It'll be at 8:30 in the morning in the Pinal County Superior Court. And on that warrant, the Pinal County Court has indicated that you have a $500 secured appearance bond. If you post that and you are released from custody, please make sure that you get yourself to your next hearing in Pinal County on November 14th. And if you're released, upon your release, you cannot possess any drugs without a valid prescription. Do you understand those conditions? Mm-hmm. All right, thank you, Ms. McIntyre. You can step back. Nicholas Dietz, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Can I have your name and date of birth, please?
Nicholas George Dietz, July 10th, 1995.
Thank you, Mr. Dietz. You are here on allegations of new charges. The allegations against you are one count of narcotic drug possession, that's a Class 4 felony, and one count of drug paraphernalia possession, which is a Class 6 felony. I did find probable cause to support those allegations, and I have appointed a public defender to represent you. Your next court hearings will be a status conference November 25th, and then you will have a preliminary hearing December 1st. Both of them will be at 8:30. They'll both be in the Superior Court downtown. On these allegations, I am inclined to release you on your own recognizance. That means you would be released from custody. You would not be required to post a bond. Upon your release, you would then be responsible for getting yourself to court on November 25th and December 1st. If you were to miss either or both of those hearings, that court would issue a warrant for your arrest. That means at some point in the future, you would be picked up on that warrant. You'd have to come back through here and do this whole process again until you made it to court. So I do intend to release you, but please make sure that you are in court on the 25th, November 25th, and then December 1st. Once you're out of custody, you would be prohibited from returning to the scene where you were arrested on these allegations. You could not initiate contact with any complainants or people that called law enforcement, and you would also be prohibited from possessing or consuming any drugs without a valid prescription. Do you understand all of those conditions, Mr. Dietz, and do you agree that you'll abide by them if you are released without a bond?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you very much. You can step back and get your paperwork.
Thank you.
Number 1 on the calendar, Antonio Carlos Sampaio, date of birth 5/17/96, is not in the courtroom because he was unable to function in general population due to combative behavior. He is here on allegations of new charges. Those allegations are 2 counts of aggravated assault on first responders, both Class 6 felonies, and 1 count of interfering with judicial proceedings. That is a Class 1 misdemeanor. I found probable cause to support those allegations and appointed a public defender to represent him. His next court hearings will be a status conference November 25th and then a preliminary hearing December 1st, both at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. I do intend to release him to the supervision of pretrial services. If anything changes after I visit him cell side, the court's final orders regarding the conditions of his release will be reflected in his written release paperwork. Okay, that concludes the 11 a.m. initial appearance calendar. This court will stand in recess until 2.